Dear students, let us discuss about the dorsalis pedis artery, and as its name implies, it's the artery for the dorsum of the foot. And the image which you are seeing here is the dorsum of foot, and in this dissection you can identify some of the tendons on the dorsum of foot, and this is the tibialis anterior medially, then extensor hallucis longus, then you are seeing the tendon of extensor digitorum longus with 4 slips for the lateral 4 toes you are seeing, and here one structure is shown with the forceps, that is the dorsalis pedis artery, and it is the continuation of the anterior tibial artery, and you are seeing a tendon crossing the artery, and this is the tendon of extensor hallucis brevis. So now let us see the dorsalis pedis artery, its origin, course, branches and its clinical importance. So the dorsalis pedis artery is the continuation of anterior tibial artery, and it is the main source of blood supply to the dorsum of foot, which consists of the tarsal bones, the metatarsal bones and the articulations between the tarsal and metatarsal bones, and it is the continuation of the anterior tibial artery, and it starts at the ankle, on the anterior aspect of the ankle, midway between the medial malleolus and lateral malleolus. That is the position of it before the ankle. It is the anterior tibial, and from the ankle the continuation of it is the dorsalis pedis artery, and it is superficially placed or it is subcutaneous in position. So because it is subcutaneous, the advantage is you can palpate the artery. This is one of the peripheral arteries that is palpated for observing the pulse. The dorsalis pedis artery, starting at the ankle, it runs downwards on the dorsum of foot, and it is accompanied by venae comitans, and it terminates at the proximal end of first intermetatarsal space, that is the first interosseous space between the first and second metatarsals, and in this place it dips towards the sole between the two digitations of the first dorsal interosseous muscle. This is the first dorsal interosseous muscle. It has got two digitations. Between the two digitations, the dorsalis pedis artery dips towards the sole, where it will join the medial end of the lateral plantar artery, so which is forming the plantar arterial arch. Now let us see the relations of the dorsalis pedis artery, and it is superficial in its course, and it is crossed by the inferior extensor retinaculum, which you can see in this picture. This is the Y-shaped inferior extensor retinaculum. Above is the superior extensor retinaculum. The inferior extensor retinaculum is crossing the dorsalis pedis artery, and it is also crossed by, superficial to it will be the tendon of the extensor digitorum brevis, which is nothing but the extensor hallucis brevis, which I mentioned previously. So the medialmost tendon of extensor digitorum brevis is the extensor hallucis brevis, which will cross it. So superficial to it are the inferior extensor retinaculum and the extensor hallucis brevis, or the medial tendon of extensor digitorum brevis. Then deep to it, what will be lying? It is the ankle joint and the tarsal bones I mentioned. So deep to it are the tarsal bones and metatarsal bones. So these are the deeper structures, and nearer to the ankle it is close to the navicular bone, which is a surface marking for feeling the pulse of the dorsalis pedis artery. So, what are the structures medial to it? You can see the tendon of extensor hallucis longus, and lateral to it will be the deep peroneal nerve and the first digitation of the extensor digitorum longus, or the first tendon of the extensor digitorum longus. These are the relations for it, and variations are possible with the dorsalis pedis artery, and it can be absent or it can be replaced by a perforating branch of peroneal artery. So now you know about the origin, the course, relations and variations of dorsalis pedis artery. In this picture, you can see the anterior tibial artery and its continuation dorsalis pedis artery, and as I already told you, it is supplying the dorsal and metatarsal bones, and it will join the plantar arterial arch or deep plantar arch. So it's contributing for that arch, and the branches of which you can see here are the medial and lateral tarsal branches to the joints of the tarsus, and for anastomosis around the ankle by joining with the malleolar artery and the arcuate artery branches. Then you are seeing the arcuate artery, which is also coming from it at the basis of the metatarsals, and it will give the first dorsal metatarsal artery. We are seeing these branches in this picture. In this picture, you can see the arcuate artery coming from the dorsalis pedis artery. This is the arcuate artery which is arching over the basis of the metatarsals. So it is starting at the base of second metatarsal bone, and it is running laterally in an arched course, and it is giving the branches which you can see second, third and fourth dorsal metatarsal arteries, and each of it again dividing into two digital branches for the adjacent sides of the toes, and the lateralmost one is giving a branch to the adjacent lateral side of the little toe. These are the dorsal metatarsal arteries, and this is the first dorsal metatarsal artery from the dorsalis pedis artery before it dips between the two digitations of the first dorsal interosseous muscle. Now in this picture, you can see the dorsalis pedis artery running towards the first interdigital space or intermetatarsal space, and then you can see the first branch of the dorsal metatarsal artery which is given by it before it dips into the towards the sole, and it is this is the artery which is running on the first dorsal interosseous muscle and dividing it into medial and lateral branches. The medial will supply the medial side of the great toe. The lateral will divide into two branches for the adjacent sides of the great toe and second toe. So the digital branches for the toes. For understanding the surface marking of the dorsalis pedis artery, let us review the surface projections of certain of the tendons and the spaces between them in relation to the dorsum of the foot. And let us see what are all the structures, these numbered structures you are seeing, and then whatever you can identify, and see this is the medial malleolus and this is the lateral malleolus you are seeing. Then you are seeing the tendon of the tibialis anterior, then the extensor hallucis longus, then the extensor digitorum longus, the four strips of it you are seeing, and then you can feel for the dorsalis pedis artery here, and you can see the tendon of the extensor digitorum brevis. This is the tendon of extensor digitorum brevis. So let us look at them. So you could identify the extensor hallucis brevis, which is the strip of the extensor digitorum brevis for the first toe. Then you are seeing the peroneus tertius. This is the peroneus tertius, lateralmost tendon on the dorsum of the foot. Then you can see the extensor digitorum longus, the forceps of it you are seeing. Then the extensor hallucis longus for the grade 2. The location of the dorsalis pedis artery, where you can feel for it in relation with the navicular bone, and the tibialis anterior, the medial malleolus and lateral malleolus. Then you can see the course of the dorsalis pedis artery and its termination you are seeing. Now let us look at the surface marking for the dorsalis pedis artery. So mark a point midway between the medial and lateral malleoli, and then a point at the proximal end of the first intermetatarsal space, and join the 2 points by a line. So that marks the dorsalis pedis artery. Now how to feel for the pulsations of the dorsalis pedis artery. Observe the procedure and how he has kept the 2 fingers, that is the index finger and the middle finger, in relation with the just below the ankle of the foot and with a dorsiflexed, slightly dorsiflexed foot, so that the artery can be felt easily. Observe the tendon of the extensor hallucis longus, and the artery is lateral to this tendon. Because it is easily accessible vessel for palpation, it is used for observing the peripheral arterial pulse. And feeling this arterial pulse is important before endovascular catheterization, that is the cardiac catheterization. Palpation of pulse is with a slightly dorsiflexed foot, so lateral to the tendon of extensor hallucis longus. Diminished or absence of pulsations of dorsalis pedis artery are seen in cases of vascular insufficiency from arterial diseases, that is in case of occlusion of the arteries. So where you will find 5 P's, that is the one among the 5 P's, one is the pain, the next pallor, then the paresthesia, paralysis and pulselessness. So this is how the dorsalis pedis artery can be felt. So now you know about the origin, course, termination, branches, surface marking of the dorsalis pedis artery and its clinical importance.